Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great example to our younger brothers. And peace and blessed salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners that have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. And what I want to get into today, all right, so some quick, all right, daily news, a few articles I want to get into, and as we read, as I've been reading things about, what's coming down the pipe, what you can see, it's going to be a very miserable time, in America, man. All right, this is the place, this is the nation, all right, dealing with America. All right, this is a nation that has been comforted, for decades, but going on centuries. If you're an Edomite, for centuries, and Jake, all right, within this modern world has been comforted, by the convenience, within this society. But we come to a time, all right, where this place is finna dwell in misery, all right? And the scriptures speak about, how, the righteous and the wicked, will have to go, will have to suffer great things, but the righteous, the hopeful elect, have the why to hope for. You see, we have favor that's promised to us. We're promised that we'll be fed. We're promised that we'll drink. We're promised, that we'll be clothed. We're promised, that we'll have abundance and be merry. All right, now exactly how, we don't know, but we know it's written and we believe. All right, that's our hope. We're prisoners of hope, but we're about to see if these elites, for the new world order, and this people, are hesitant, to fully, comply. All right, expect, a miserable conditions. All right, to take hold, here in America. All right, because that's the most resistance of this new world order is within America. You know. Now, when you go to Second Esdras 8 and 50. He said, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." Yeah, see, America, is what, the haven for pride in the earth, beginning with the Edomites, all right? But then you have our people, that are beyond proud, you know, in this society, in this settlement, and mainly, the women. All right, you got proud niggas too, but there's no pride like the pride that's on these women. All right, but now we in a time where, all right, these people finna dwell, all right, in great miseries, man. So let's go to this first article, man, because great miseries, all right, are to come. All right, now this is from Black Listed News. It says Gates unhinged. All right, a dystopian vision for the future of food. It said the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is also involved, documented in the recent report Gates to a Global Empire by Nav Danya International, whether through buying up huge tracts of farmland, promoting a much heralded but failed Great Revolution for Africa, pushing biosynthetic food and new genetic engineering technologies, or more generally facilitating the aims of the mega agri-food corporations. We are currently seeing an acceleration of the corporate consolidation of the entire global agri-food chain. Yeah, they're taking over the food chain. That's why you see, Bill Gates buying up, all this farmland. All right, Esau Edom is putting himself, to be as the Most High on earth. He wants to control. He wants to be the source of your food. He wants to be the source of your air. He wants to be the source of your thoughts. All right. He wants to be the source of recreation. You know. He wants to be a source of these things, man. So this man in his wickedness, all right, is deliberately destroying the natural way of producing food, all right, just so he can mass produce his madness, man. You know? And it says the high-tech data conglomerates, including Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, and Google, have joined traditional agribusiness business giants such as Corteva, Bayer, um, Cargill and Sin, Syngenta in a quest to impose a certain type of agriculture and food production on the world. Of course, those involved in this portray what they are doing as some kind of humanitarian endeavor. Yeah, Esau Edom loves to make it seem as if they're, you know, going through all these, going through all this trouble, you know. It's just like they're so occupied, and making sure everybody is good. No, man. All right, they want control and they want to further oppress. All right, the masses, man. And then it's a depopulation agenda within all this, man. You see, and it says this is how many of them probably do genuinely regard their roles inside their corporate echo chamber. But what they are really doing is repackaging the uh this possessive strategies of imperialism as feeding the world, and they're going to use that food as a leverage, all right, for people to buy out, man. And they're going to starve a lot of people, man. All right, the scriptures go into that in the prophecies, man. A lot of people are going to starve, you know. It ain't because there's lack of food or there's nothing growing. No. All right, they're shutting down access to food, man. All right, and we can see it happen in real time. All right, and it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." Yeah, so if they're constantly pumping out these stimulus checks, they're allowing you to, move around, it's the spring, going into summertime, the beaches is packed, and, the bars back jumping, the clubs, you know. So if they're letting you go back to some normalcy, they're lifting the face mask ban, the mandatory mask. All right, they're lifting it in a few states, So while you're so occupied and trying to get back to normalcy, man, they're still, plotting in the background, of wickedness, man. You see, and their famine is gonna be a major thing that they're gonna use for leverage as people to buy down, man. All right. It said, verse 22. It said, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish with famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." Yeah, man. All right. This because you see, gun violence is at an all-time high. You know, gun violence in every, facet of life is an all-time high, man. Mass shooting, you know, niggas killing each other, you know. Hey, it's at an all-time high. All right, so you mix that with the famine, all right, or a food shortage, man. What you think you gonna have, man? You know, this is gonna be pure chaos in the earth, man. You know, so let's go from there. Let's get another article. All right. Yep, this is it. And at the end of the day, what we finna see is what they call a police state. All right, that's what we're finna see. Being implemented in America is a police state. You know, matter of fact, let me see if I can get that video from the brother I was looking at earlier. All right, the brother Mike Allard, and yep. Let's play a little bit of this video, and then we'll get that article.
All right. Twan Babakar, which is to say good morning to you. May Yahweh Shema Shai continue to give you Akim and you Akwath, everything you need in order to stand worthy before Yahweh Shai. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, the rise of the apostles of great millstone of peace and mercy to the election. All right, brothers. Remember that this is the year that's labeled hastening the day of Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's exactly what us brothers and a little bit amount of sisters been doing. We've been hastening the day. Remember when the beginning of the year came in, we put the curses up worldwide for the brothers all the way over there in London, to us brothers in Cali and all the four corners of the earth, South America, etc. And then right after, come quickly, this Passover. You know, we did the Passover where we put more curses up, and on top of, we put more curses up, and then on top of all the prayers, all the prayers all around the world of brothers basically begging the Lord to come save us, send back his beloved son Yahweh Shai, deliver us. A lot of brothers be going through ups and downs and the crying and the pain that we feeling. We praying to the Lord to come deliver us, and we're witnessing. That's why I got martial law troops on the video, on the picture thumbnail, because Jacob's trouble is right here. It's right here. It's like a race where the racers is finna come out the blocks. That's how like the left hand side angels are ready to come out the blocks for the Lord. Everything is in place. Everything's in place. We're just waiting for Yahweh Shemal Shai to give the go. Okay? So the Lord's hearing us. Salvation is very near. Matter of fact, let's check this video clip out that the brother sent.
We've implemented the strictest measures in all of North America. And the difficult truth is, every public health measure we have left comes with a massive cost to people and their lives. But we have never shied away from doing what's necessary.
We have made the deliberate decision to temporarily enhance police officers' authority for the duration of the stay-at-home order. Moving forward, police will have the authority to require any individual who is not in a place of residence to, first, provide their purpose for not being at home and provide their home address. Police will also have the authority to stop a vehicle to inquire about an individual's reason for leaving their residence.
As you heard it.
So you see, all right, hey, this is going to a police state, all right. That's in Ontario, I say, where, all right, they're giving police the authority, all right, to ask why are you out and where do you stay. You see, that's what it's coming to, man. All right, Esau Edom is finna treat people like little children, man. Like this is a big ass daycare, So expect, it to get stricter, man. Everyone's out and about, they've passed, because they ain't been pushing, the crown as much, you see. But they have something else, man. They have a lot of other things up their sleeve that they plan to bring. All right, now this brother's page is on GMS Inspiration and Motivation. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Get continually updated, and edified. All right, now let's go to this article. All right, but you see where it's at, man. So it says another from blacklistednews.com. It said the eruption of the refuge crisis and the global push, all right, for V passports, all right, for the VP. And it says on St. Vincent, Grenada Islands, the controversy erupted on Twitter even as a 32-foot high plume of smoke from St. Vincent's La Safiri volcano was still rising in the sky. The firestorm on American social media platform over reports that only those vaccinated against the Crown Royal will be allowed, all right, those that get the max, man. You see, you will have to get that max to be evacuated from death, man. How wicked is that, man? How wicked is that you gotta, take something, take something that's been publicized, all right, to destroy, all right, to escape from destruction, man. See, Esau got people in disgrace, man. You see? And that's why we pray to the Yahweh Shema Shai to preserve us from this, man. Let's get there real quick and then we'll finish the article. All right. See, we need to be preserved. We need a higher power, all right, that's working, all right, on our behalf, man. Because Esau Edom has been given control, all right, a certain power, within the earth, you know. And if we're not covered, you know, by our power, you know, hey, you can be given into his hand, you know. And when you get into the hands of Esau Edom, all right, anything can happen. All right. This is Psalm 74:1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy." You see, and we have to pray, you know, to be preserved, you know, from the devices of Esau Edom, man, because he has all types of wickedness up his sleeve, you know, that he is doing, and he's planning on doing, man. All right. And it says the firestorm on American social media platforms over reports that only vaccinated, all right, those vaccinated against the Crown Royal will be allowed to evacuate the Eastern Caribbean island sheds light on the architects of the biosecurity state who have descended on St. Vincent and the Grenadines to explore the limits of mandatory public health protocols in the midst of a natural disaster now projected to last months. It says global organizations, NGOs, the members of the science community are coordinating emergency response after St. Vincent power outages, no clean water, and continued volcanic eruptions have rendered parts of the island virtually uninhabitable, plunging, all right, Vincentians who have managed to escape, all right, into a condition of quasi-stateliness where notions of human rights and civil liberties became malleable. It says refugees are in a position of complete vulnerability, said Dr. Diego Garcia Ricci from the Ibero-American University in Mexico City, speaking to Mint Press. He says the constitutional law professor and data privacy expert addressed some of the issues surrounding the plight of refugees as biometric data like retinal scans, fingerprint, and even gender become a pillar of identity documentation and incipient travel requirements in the wake of pandemic. While biometrics can be useful for identification purpose, mistakes do happen. All right. So what we're seeing, I don't know how they go. So all right. Let me see. Okay. So what's happening? All right. Esau is capitalizing off of natural disasters, man. You know, this man is capitalizing his wickedness, all right, off people's vulnerability, man, and he's gonna do that all throughout, you know, trying to implement his new world order, man. He's gonna create environments and situations where people are very vulnerable, man. All right, look at the choice you got, man. Stay on the island that the volcano steady erupting, or get jabbed up, man. You see, hey, that's something. Hey, Esau putting you in scrapes, man. You know, and we prayed, like I said, to be preserved from this man. All right. Let me see. All right. It says most at risk from these mistakes, abuse, and racial profiling arising out of the biometric digital identity systems are those who need for the states is made indispensable by virtue of being rendered stateless. Free agents with no urgency are prime targets of global entities like the UN Refugee Agency, which claims to speak for close to 80 million forcibly displaced people. Vincentians who are unable or refuse to leave the island are likely to be reclassified as eternally displaced persons, or IDPs, another kind of refuge as defined by UNHCR. Such classifications are part of vast structures of laws and guidelines enshrined in the archives of supernatural state entities like the European Commission and the United Nations, which is the beast. All right. based on the conventional and protocol relating to the states of refugees, which establishes international rules governing the treatment and rights of refugees, whose number have nearly doubled since 2012, ballooning from 45.2 million displaced to 79.5 million as the last count. And see what these devils are doing. All right, a lot of these refugees, a lot of them going to human trafficking. All right, sex trafficking, man. You see, this man, like the scriptures say, when you go into this man always shows up on the scene of a disaster to capitalize, man. Because he has the resources of the earth. So if you're vulnerable, all right, he's gonna use, all right, his leverage with resources and your lack of resources against you, man. You see? Let me see. Does it say the tender mercies? Yep. This is Proverbs 12:10. He said, "A righteous man regarded the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel." Yeah, this man shows up to help. Like we here to save you from the volcano, and then look what he got for you. So he appears as he's showing as he's here to be some type of mercy, but then the outcome is something cruel, man. You next thing you know, you involved in sex trafficking, man. You see, you kill you to get your organs. This how this man is getting down in the earth, man. But he'll jump on screen and smile, like he's all about, the lives of the least person on earth, man. Now let's get another one, because as we see, all right, what's going on over there with Russia and Ukraine, all right. Hey, it's a lot of troops moving. There's a lot of numbers over there. Just want to touch on it real quick, because we just keep up, with different things. We know ultimately, that when World War III kick off, all right, it's gonna hit, and then the main, fire spark gonna be between Iran and the Israelis, but we see Russia, all right, taking a very aggressive stance, in their region. All right, this is going into this is from NBCnews.com, and it says steady increase in Russian troops in Crimea on Ukraine border, says Pentagon. It says the number of Russian troops deployed in occupied Crimea near Ukraine's border has steadily increased over the past 2 weeks and has surpassed the size of the force that annexed the peninsula in 2014, the Pentagon said on Monday. Press Secretary John Kirby declined to provide specific numbers on the growing Russian troops' presence. A spokesman for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said last week there are about 80,000 troops now stationed along the country's border with Russia, 40,000 of them in Crimea. On Monday, the European Union said there were now over 100,000 in border regions. What I can tell you in general, we have continued to see this buildup increase, and again, that is concerning to us, Kirby told the reporters. In the main, over the last couple of weeks, we have continued to see an increase in the forces along the border with Ukraine and occupied Crimea, he said. All right. So you see the Medes, all right, being stirred up, and then they also been moving heavy, all right, artillery in their region, man. You see, so they have all of their manpower, plus they moving a lot of, all right, heavy weaponry in their region, which that's like on the doorsteps, of the EU. You see, like when you go back to the USSR, all those states that Russia lost, there was really like the gateway, between Russia and the EU, so really, all right, you go into NATO, it really create like a buffer zone, between Europe and Russia. All right, so Russia's getting close to those EU nations, man. All right, troops and artillery, man. So, hey, it's gonna go down, man. You know, and the prophecies, all right, speak of these things, man. Because when you go to Revelation 13, all right, and 2, it says, "And the beast which I saw, which was like unto a leopard," all right, and the leopard goes into Esau's first, all right, empire as the Greeks. You know, that leopard, all right, that you go into in Daniel the 7th, all right, the Greeks under Alexander, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and the feet is the end of a thing, all right, and that bear is going into Russia. You see, so through Russia, all right, is going to be the beginning of the end. All right, that's going to be the conflict. That's going to be the end of this man's rulership, man. You know, and his mouth is the mouth of a lion. All right, going to elite bankers out in London. All right, because it's all right. They speak, all right, these things into being. You know, they have the money to finance, you know, what they say. You see, and it says, "And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority." So Russia plays a big part, all right, in the end of this rulership, man. Revelation 20 and and 7. Now this is when Esau came back into power, all right, during the Renaissance, and when the 1,000 years when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Yeah, he was allowed to go forth and conquer and influence the earth. You see, that's why you had, you know, our people being taken down. You know, the Northern Kingdom that was over here in the Americas and the islands, they was taken down by different Edomite empires. You know why? Because he was loose to go conquer. You see, it says, "And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth," and he did. You know, he changed history. You know, made himself to be a hero. All right. He changed the names, you know, of the biblical nations and gave them colors and, you know, other names. You know, he deceived, man. His interpretation of the Bible, you know, he deceived. He came out deceiving, you know, the four corners of the earth. But what it would lead to, Gog and Magog to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. Yeah, Russia has a big military, man. You know, it's that big. That's the biggest nation, the biggest country, you know, on earth. You see. So, he will come back into power through deception, you know, but it will end with with Russia, all right, being at the forefront, all right, of these nations, you know, that will go against this beast system. You know, they will go to war, all right, against this whore. You know, and spearhead the destruction of America, and then Yahweh Shai gonna return, you know, and destroy everything else, man. You see? So this is where we at, you know, according, all right, to prophecy, man. And I got one more article real quick I was reading. Now, remember, you know, we was going into the alleged, you know, the gunman from this FedEx shooting. You know, and I knew, you know, they was going to say something, all right? I knew they were going to throw something out there, you know, all right? Now, this is the guy who supposedly shot up, you know, in FedEx. It said the alleged gunman who killed 8 people at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis last week apparently browsed white supremacist websites a little over a year before the deadly shooting, police said. So now they saying he's influenced, all right, by white supremacy, you know, and where did he get it from? The internet, all right? So they demonizing, you know, what they're doing, all right? They doing it under the guise of white supremacy, which they not here to police white supremacy, all right? They're all white supremacists. They're all Edomite supremacists, you know? No, they here, all right, to make it seem as if, you know, bad information on the internet could end and people losing their life, you know? So anything that they deem as misinformation, all right, hey, they can deem it, all right, terroristic, man, you know? So we knew they was gonna have a twist to it when it came out, cause you know we knew it was gonna They was gonna put their twist on it, man. All right, it says on March 3rd, 2020, Brandon Ho's mother went to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department seeking help after her son had purchased a shotgun with no bullets, according to new details in the incident report released Monday. The mother told police that her son became angry, struck her in the arm with a closed fist, and told her to shut up when she had asked what he was going to do with the gun. The mother said her son told her that he was going to point the unloaded gun at police officers so they would shoot him, saying, "This is not my life. This is not the life I want to live. I ended my way," according to the report. After speaking with mother, police officer went to the family's home and placed Ho in handcuffs. Ho, who at the time was 18, became immediately anxious and told the officers, now listen to what they say. He told the officer, "Please just turn off the power script on my computer. I don't want anyone to see what's on it," according to the report. One of the officers went upstairs to seize the shotgun and observed that through his training and experience indicated was white supremacist, all right, websites on Ho's computer, the report said. So here it is, you downstairs getting handcuffed, but you gonna blurt out, "Well, look, y'all just go turn off my power script to my computer so y'all don't see what I've been doing." And Esau just getting tacky as hell, man. What sense would that make? You downstairs, they probably not even thinking about upstairs, but you tell them, turn my power script off. So at the end of the day, we know, all right, who they want to get, man. But hey, it gotta happen. Hey, this is what, we prepare for in the spirit. You see, it gotta happen, man. Satan gonna come. Esau Edom gonna make his move, man, and he's gradually, building the case. All right, it's 2 Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, so, we're not ignorant of this man's tactics, and we understand what his end game is, man. We understand who he's aiming at through all this propaganda, man. And we prepared ourselves in the spirit, man. All right, we made the Most High, all right, our dwelling place, man. We made Yahweh Shai, all right. Like, all faith is in him, all right. He delivers. All our faith is in him, man. So that's the daily news. What's going on. Lord will, what you was informed and edified. Till next time I say Shalom.